I think it's about time to do some upgrading. Oh shit, I don't have enough tempering alloys. Oh well, there's an 87.5% chance of success rate. What could go wrong? Why, Zos? Why? Hello boys, and welcome back. So, even though that was completely my fault, it kinda fucked up my build video. So, because I'm so committed into shitting out a video, I even threw myself into the activity finder to do the pledges. However, ZeniMax continued to fuck me. Oh man, I'm so glad I finally got those pledges done. I waited hours in the queue to get into that group. You piece of shit. Anyway, build is now going to be one for another time. Today, what I'm going to bring you is a Magika Sorcerer PvE group play build. I'll get onto why it's a group play build further on in the video. I'm not saying it's bad for solo play, but there are better builds out there. So, before we get into what sets I'm wearing, can we just take a minute to appreciate how hot this pink is? It looks like I should be in some sort of anime. Man, I need to get out more. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Drop it.
One thing I've noticed a lot of people do in their build videos is make a really fucking cool name for their build. So I think I've decided that I'm going to call this the Pink Cat build. Pretty self-explanatory as to why, really. In case some of you are fucking retarded, the reason I'm calling it this is because it's pink and the head looks like a cat. Okay, so in this build I've got Max Magika, and then I've got the Boon as the thief, and I'm also a vampire. Again, it's always optional to be a vampire, but I like it. I also have Minor Slayer, and you'll find out why in a minute. So on this character I'm running 2 fire destro bars. So the first one I've got is the Inferno Staff of the Lich sharpened, and I've got an Inferno Staff of Julianos sharpened. If you're good enough, I would suggest getting the Maelstrom Inferno Staffs. Unfortunately I'm shit, so I can't do that. So I'm using 5-piece Moon Dancer and 5-piece Burning Spellweed. It's completely up to you how you set this up. Just make sure you have 5 pieces of both, and make sure that all the armour is in Divines. I'll go through why we're using these sets later on in the video when we've gone through all the skills. Okay, so let's get into the skills. Why are you inviting me to duel, dude? Does it look like I'm on my Magika Sorcerer PvP build? Link in the description. Get out of here. Anyway, so as I was saying before we were so rudely interrupted, it's time to get into the skills. On my back bar, I have Power Surge, Blockade, Liquid Lightning, then I've got Inner Light and Bound Aegis. I will explain the ultimate on this bar in just a minute. On the second bar we have Hardened Ward, then we got Force Pulse, Crystal Frags, and again Inner Light and Bound Aegis. And for my ultimate on this bar I'm using Fiery Rage for that massive firestorm that melt people's faces off. So the ultimate on our first bar is Overload. Doesn't matter which morph you use because you're just using it for the third bar. On here you're going to want Hardened Ward so you don't die when you're in it. Then you're going to want Degeneration because it gives you a fucking 20% spell damage bonus for 20 seconds when you use it. Then you want Boundless Storm because it's a bit of extra AoE damage and increases your resistance. Then we have Dark Exchange. It should be called fucking Good Exchange because you exchange 30,000 stamina for 7,000 health and 4,000 magicka, which is fucking disgusting. Then we've got Bound Aegis. The reason we've got that is so you don't have to worry about putting it back on again.
So I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed just to get it out what's in my head, and
Okay, so just to let you know, the food I'm using is Solitude Salmon Millet Soup because it tastes fucking nice. If you're not a fan of fish, you can use any max health and Magicka food. Okay, so now I'm going to buff up my stats. I'm going to Overload and use Degeneration, switch and use Crit Surge, and then proc Burning Spell Weave, and look, we've got 3,900 spell damage self-buffed. The reason we're using 2 Inferno staffs is so we can proc burning spell weave more often and get that extra 593 spell damage. The other set I said I was using earlier is Moon Dancer. Now, when you activate any synergy, it either gives you a Lunar Blessing, which increases your Magika recovery by 432 for 30 seconds, or the other one which increases your spell damage by 432. And that's why I said this is a group build. So now we have to talk about the rotation. So how I start the fight is I go into Overload and I use Degeneration. I then use Boundless Storm. I then switch to my back bar and use Crit Surge, Blockade and Liquid Lightning. I then swap to my front bar and I spam Force Pulse until Crystal Frags proc. I then repeat this process over and over again. When you start to run low on Magika, make sure you go to your Overload bar and use fucking Amazing Exchange. There you have it, guys. You've now witnessed the true power of the infamous pink cat build. You should know what I'm going to say by now.
Well, it's usually this point of the video you start begging for likes, Stan.
Fuck off, Tyrone, you weren't meant to be in this video. So, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Leave a like if it helped you out. Just fucking leave a like anyway. Also, subscribe if you want to see more. I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one. Bye.
Hold up.